Welcome, beautiful souls, to our Rustic Elegance family. I'm so honored that you've joined us today for another journey into creating spaces that don't just look beautiful but feel like a warm embrace when you walk through the door. This isn't just another styling guide. It's a collection of ideas born from those quiet moments when my grandmother's antique vase catching the morning light reminded me that true beauty lies in the stories our homes tell. Whether you're healing from a difficult season or celebrating new beginnings, I hope these spring living room ideas bring the same peace and renewal to your space that they've brought to mine.
Welcome to Rustic Elegance. Let's embark on a journey through the beauty of rustic decor, celebrating the warmth, simplicity, and natural charm of this timeless design.
Spring living room styling ideas. Classic vintage meets modern elegance with rustic luxury accents. There's something magical about spring that invites us to refresh our surroundings while honoring the pieces that have weathered time alongside us. This season offers the perfect opportunity to blend the character of vintage treasures with the clean simplicity of modern design, all wrapped in the honest warmth of rustic luxury. It's about creating living rooms that feel both timeless and fresh, spaces where memories can be made against a backdrop that celebrates both where we've been and where we're going. As the world outside bursts into bloom, let's bring that same sense of renewal and gentle transformation into our living spaces. Through thoughtful combinations of texture, color, and meaningful objects, we can create rooms that capture spring's essence while remaining true to our personal stories. Whether you have an heirloom chair passed down through generations or simply appreciate the patina that only time can create, these ideas will help you honor those elements while embracing the bright promise that each new season brings. 1. Vintage elegance in bloom. Styling with floral prints, antique finds, and soft spring colors. Romantic spring decor. How to use floral patterns for a cozy vintage living room. Transform your living space with carefully selected floral patterns that evoke the romantic charm of bygone eras, while celebrating spring's renewal. Consider vintage-inspired wallpaper with delicate blooms as an accent wall, or incorporate floral fabric in subtle colors through throw pillows and ottoman covers for a less permanent commitment. These timeless floral elements can be balanced with solid neutral furniture pieces, creating a sophisticated vintage living room that never feels overwhelming or dated. The key lies in choosing florals with faded or muted tones that suggest the gentle aging of treasured textiles, adding authentic vintage character to even the most contemporary spaces. Antique accents that shine, mirrors, frames, and timeless pieces that add charm. Elevate your spring living room styling with carefully curated antique accent pieces that serve as conversation starters while adding depth and history to modern spaces. Ornate gold-framed mirrors not only reflect spring light to brighten your vintage-inspired interior, but also add architectural interest and a sense of expanded space to living room walls. Incorporate antique picture frames in varying sizes to display botanical prints or family photos, creating gallery arrangements that tell your unique story while adding authentic vintage elegance to your spring decor. Small antique accent tables, vintage books, or inherited treasures placed thoughtfully throughout your living space create those magical moments of discovery that make a house feel like a soulful, collected home. Soft neutrals and pastels, spring color palettes that brighten your vintage living space. Embrace the gentle awakening of spring with a sophisticated color palette that combines soft neutrals with carefully selected pastel accents for a fresh yet timeless living room aesthetic. Start with a foundation of warm whites, creamy beiges, or soft grays on walls and larger furniture pieces to create a luminous backdrop that enhances natural light and showcases vintage details. Layer in pastel accents, perhaps blush pink, sage green, or powder blue, through smaller decor elements like vintage glass collections, ceramic lamp bases, or watercolor artwork featuring springtime scenes. This thoughtful color approach creates a harmonious vintage-inspired space that feels both uplifting and grounded, perfect for spring's transitional energy. Two, rustic luxury accents, wood beams, natural textures, and organic finishing touches. Elevate with texture, using rustic wood and woven accents for a luxurious feel. Transform your spring living room with the grounding presence of rustic wood elements that bring authentic character and natural warmth to even the most refined spaces. Consider incorporating weathered wooden beams across ceilings or as decorative mantles to create architectural interest and a sense of history that complements vintage-inspired furnishings. Accent with hand-carved wooden bowls, distressed wooden picture frames, or a statement coffee table with visible knots and grain patterns that tell the story of the tree it once was. These rustic wood elements create a beautiful tension with more polished pieces, resulting in a luxurious living space that feels authentic rather than contrived. Layered comfort. Natural fabrics, linen throws and jute rugs for rustic elegance. Create a living room that invites lingering conversations and quiet moments by layering natural textiles that add both visual interest and tactile comfort to your spring decoration. Begin with a foundation of natural fiber rugs, perhaps jute, sisal, or a wool blend with subtle texture, to ground the space with organic simplicity while adding warm rustic character. Add linen throw blankets in gentle spring hues draped casually across sofa arms or woven baskets, introducing subtle color while enhancing the room's inviting, lived-in elegance. Complete this layered approach with hand-loomed pillows, perhaps in slightly rumpled linen or textured cotton with simple patterns, creating a luxurious rustic comfort that embraces spring's relaxed sophistication. From farmhouse to fine blending reclaimed materials with upscale spring decor. Elevate your spring living room by juxtaposing carefully selected reclaimed elements with refined accents for a balance that feels both authentic and luxurious. Consider a statement piece like a coffee table crafted from reclaimed barnwood paired with elegant brass accessories, crystal decanters, or fine porcelain vessels filled with fresh spring blooms. Incorporate architectural salvage elements, perhaps antique corbels as bookends, vintage doorknobs as curtain tiebacks, or reclaimed wood frames around contemporary artwork to create intriguing focal points that bridge rustic and refined aesthetics. This thoughtful combination of humble materials with more precious elements creates a distinctive living space that tells a story of appreciation for both history and beauty. 3. Classic meets modern, balancing clean lines with vintage shapes and details. The best of both worlds, combining vintage silhouettes with modern finishes. Create a captivating spring living room by embracing the elegant curves of vintage-inspired furniture, while updating these classic forms with contemporary finishes and fabrics. Consider a wingback chair, that icon of traditional design, reupholstered in a crisp white linen or subtle herringbone pattern that honors its classic silhouette while freshening its presence for modern living. Pair ornate vintage side tables with sleek table lamps in simple forms and clean metal finishes, creating deliberate contrasts that highlight the beauty of each design approach. This harmonious balance between traditional forms and contemporary execution creates a sophisticated living space that feels timeless rather than trend-driven. Curved sofas and antique coffee tables, creating a harmonious living room design. Anchor your spring living room with a conversation-starting curved sofa that references the elegant forms of 1930s and 40s design, while offering modern comfort perfect for today's relaxed lifestyle. Balance this contemporary meets vintage seating with an antique coffee table that brings authentic patina and historical character to the center of your living space. Enhance this thoughtful pairing with decorative objects that continue this design dialogue. Perhaps vintage books topped with modern sculptural elements or antique brass candlesticks, alongside minimalist spring floral arrangements. This approach creates a living room that feels curated rather than decorated, with each element contributing to a sophisticated narrative about honoring the past while embracing the present. Mix like a pro, styling minimalist lighting with classic spring-inspired furnishings. Illuminate your spring living room design with contemporary lighting fixtures that create beautiful tension when paired with more traditional furnishings and seasonal decor elements. Consider a modern Sputnik chandelier or sleek floor lamp with clean lines installed above, or beside a classically shaped sofa with vintage-inspired upholstery, creating a focal point that energizes the entire space. Enhance this lighting strategy with reflective surfaces, perhaps a gold leaf side table, mercury glass accessories, or strategically placed mirrors that multiply light while adding subtle glamour to your spring living room styling. This thoughtful approach to mixing lighting styles not only provides practical illumination, but also makes a confident design statement about combining different eras with intention and sophistication. Four. Spring textiles and cozy layers. Throw pillows, light blankets, and floral curtains. Textile trends for spring. Gingham, lace, and soft linen for elegant comfort. Refresh your living room for the spring season with textile patterns that reference traditional designs while feeling undeniably fresh and inviting. Incorporate small-scale gingham check patterns in soft blues, greens, or classic black and white through accent pillows or ottoman upholstery, adding graphic interest that complements both vintage and modern furniture silhouettes. Layer in touches of delicate lace through trimmed pillow edges, table linens, or even framed lace samples, introducing intricate texture and a sense of heirloom quality to your spring decorating scheme. Complete your textile story with rumpled linen in natural or gently dyed hues that capture spring's relaxed elegance while promising to age beautifully, developing more character with each passing season. Layered looks. How to style pillows and blankets for a fresh yet inviting space. Create a living room that balances spring freshness with inviting comfort by thoughtfully layering textiles that add color, texture, and practical warmth for cooler evenings. Begin with larger pillows in subtle patterns or textured solids at each end of your sofa. Then layer smaller pillows with complementary spring colors or botanical motifs that can be easily changed with the seasons. Drape lightweight throws and natural fibers across chair arms or sofa corners, choosing colors that echo your accent pillows while introducing additional texture through loose weaves, subtle fringe, or gentle color variation. This layered approach creates a living room that feels both considered and comfortably lived in, striking that perfect balance between styled and welcoming. Window dressing for the season light, flowing curtains that say spring elegance. Transform your living room's atmosphere with window treatments that filter spring sunlight while adding gentle movement and sophisticated texture to your interior design. Consider sheer linen panels in ivory or soft natural tones that diffuse light beautifully while maintaining privacy and adding height when mounted close to the ceiling. For more traditional spaces, layer delicate lace curtains beneath simpler side panels in complementary colors, creating depth and romantic vintage charm that enhances spring's gentle aesthetic. Finish with thoughtfully selected hardware, perhaps antique brass rods with simple finials or weathered iron rings, that complements your overall design scheme while ensuring your curtains move easily with spring breezes. 5. Fresh accents for the season. Vases, greenery, and art that celebrate spring indoors. Decor that feels alive. Using faux and real greenery to brighten your spring living room. Bring the rejuvenating energy of spring indoors with thoughtfully arranged greenery that adds life, color, and organic shape to your living room styling. Incorporate high-quality faux stems of spring favorites like cherry blossoms, forsythia, or delicate ferns in vintage-inspired vases for low-maintenance beauty that lasts throughout the season. Balance these with low-care living plants such as potted herbs on windowsills, trailing ivy on bookshelves, or a statement fiddle leaf fig in a textured basket, adding authentic natural elements that improve air quality while enhancing your spring decor scheme. Create visual interest through varying heights, textures, and vessels, perhaps grouping small ceramic pots of succulents on a coffee table, suspending trailing plants from ceiling hooks, or arranging branches in tall floor vases, ensuring your greenery feels intentionally styled rather than simply placed. Statement spring decor. Ceramic vases, framed botanical prints, and seasonal artwork. Enhance your spring living room styling with carefully selected decorative elements that celebrate the season's beauty while complementing your vintage meets modern aesthetic. Showcase collections of ceramic vases in complementary shapes and varying heights, perhaps in classic blue and white patterns or soft pastel glazes, creating visual interest even before adding fresh or faux flowers. Hang framed botanical prints in vintage-style frames, grouping illustrations of spring blooms or delicate ferns in gallery arrangements that add color and scientific interest to your walls. Complete your seasonal decoration with artwork that captures spring's essence, perhaps watercolor landscapes in fresh greens and blues, abstract pieces in this season's palette, or black and white photographs of gardens that allow your colorful accessories to take center stage. Nature-inspired touches. How to bring the outdoors in with elegant spring accessories. Complete your spring living room transformation with thoughtfully chosen accessories that reference nature's awakening, while adding finishing touches of color, texture, and personal meaning. Incorporate natural elements like polished geodes, driftwood sculptures, or collections of speckled bird eggs under glass cloches, creating miniature still life arrangements that invite closer inspection and conversation. Place scented candles in fresh, botanical fragrances like herb garden, fresh linen, or subtle floral notes, housed in vessels that complement your decor while engaging multiple senses in your spring refresh. Arrange coffee table books with beautiful covers featuring gardens, historic homes, or nature photography, creating decorative stacks that express your interests while adding height variation to tabletop vignettes. Conclusion. As we reach the end of our spring styling journey together, I hope you've found not just design inspiration, but permission to create spaces that truly reflect your own evolution and growth. Remember that the most beautiful rooms aren't those that follow every trend or rule perfectly. They're the ones where every object has meaning, where the past and present converse in harmony, and where your authentic self feels most at home. Your living room isn't just a canvas for pretty things. It's where life unfolds in all its messy, beautiful glory. I've shared these ideas from my heart to yours, but the most important element in any room is the story you bring to it. That antique vase might be on trend this spring, but what makes it truly special is the memory of your grandmother arranging wildflowers in it, or the way you discovered it on a special trip. As you refresh your space for this season of renewal, I encourage you to honor those personal connections and create a living room that feels not just beautiful, but meaningful. From all of us at Rustic Elegance, thank you for allowing me to be a small part of your home's continuing story. I'd love to see how you interpret these ideas in your own unique way. Please share your spring transformations with our community so we can continue inspiring each other. Until next time, may your home be as beautiful as the heart that beats within it. And may this season bring fresh beauty to both your living room and your life's journey.